I stepped onto what was supposed to be my sanctuary, my hard-earned piece of paradise, only to watch in horror as bulldozers tore through the heart of Willowbrook Estate, the century-old gem I'd poured my soul into reclaiming. With the Riverside Heights HOA leader standing there, smug as ever, her pen scratching across a form like she was signing my death warrant, the roar of engines drowning out my shouts. Pieces of the grand mahogany banister I dreamed of polishing back to life scattering, like broken promises across the overgrown grass. And in that moment, I felt the weight of every battle I'd ever fought crashing down, wondering if this was the one that would finally break me. 6 months earlier, I'd snagged this forgotten beauty for $127,000 at a foreclosure auction. Willowbrook Estate perched on the shores of Lake Evergreen in upstate Michigan, a sprawling 6-bedroom haven on 2 acres with 200 feet of pristine waterfront. Yeah, it was crumbling, walls sagging under decades of neglect, but I'm Ethan Harper, 2 decades in the Navy Seabees, building runways in deserts, fortifying bases under enemy fire, fixing what others deemed impossible, until a freak explosion. In my 18th year lodged metal in my right knee, leaving me with a permanent hitch in my step, medical discharge at 45, scraping by on VA benefits and odd jobs, remodeling basements, fixing roofs, anything to keep the lights on. I'd left for a quick 3-month gig in Alaska, heavy equipment work that paid enough to fund the next phase of renovations. But returning to this chaos, the woman with the form, Vivian Blackwell, local realtor, Riverside Heights HOA president, and apparently a master manipulator, her eyes gleaming with false sympathy as she explained I'd abandoned the property, triggering their right to demolish. And right there, amid the dust and destruction, I had to decide, call the authorities or take matters into my own hands the way I knew best, fighting smart, fighting dirty if needed. So tell me, what would you have done? Where are you tuning in from? Any HOA horror stories of your own? Drop them below. This all traces back to the fire that forged me. Those Navy years shaping a man who doesn't back down, constructing in chaos, enduring the blistering sun of deployments, the constant ache in my knee a reminder of what I'd lost, but also what I'd gained. A resilience that kept me going when civilian life turned cold, employers glancing at my limp and passing me over. So I turned to freelance carpentry, piecing together a living, all while carrying the memory of my grandmother Evelyn, who raised me in a cramped flat in Detroit, scrubbing floors for the wealthy, never owning a scrap of land. Yet she'd snip images from glossy magazines, waterfront retreats with sweeping verandas and piers reaching into shimmering depths, pasting them on her wardrobe door, murmuring softly, "Someday, kiddo, someday we'll claim a spot like that." Her voice laced with a quiet longing that stuck with me long after she passed at my 23rd birthday, never realizing that dream. Then, 2 years back, scrolling through online auctions instead of chasing leads, I spotted it. Willowbrook Estate, starting at a mere $95,000. Photos screaming neglect, but hinting at elegance beneath. The intricate mahogany railing, the massive fieldstone hearth from 1924, sturdy arts and crafts framework waiting to be revived. Auction day arrived. I was the lone bidder. Sealed it at $127,000. Cashed out my savings, sold my old rig, secured a VA renovation loan for $147,000. My daughter Mia. Warning. Dad, that's not a project. That's a disaster in waiting. But stepping inside for the first time, the stench of decay hitting hard, moldy drywall, rodent nests, shattered panes crunching underfoot. Yet sunlight filtered through cracked blinds, casting a warm haze that turned the ruin into something magical. My fingers tracing the banister's worn curves, sensing generations of lives lived here, and in that touch, I felt Evelyn's spirit urging me on. I mapped out 18 months of sweat equity, stabilize the base, rewire the guts, seal the roof, restore the woodwork, all DIY to stretch the funds. But on day 3, a sleek black SUV idled at the drive's edge, outstepped this polished woman in her mid-60s, impeccably coiffed silver hair, tailored blazer, clipboard clutched like a shield. "Mr. Harper," she announced without pause. Vivian Blackwell, chair of the Design Oversight Committee for Riverside Heights HOA, rattling off violations. 17 codes breached, for restrictions ignored, demanding plans within 30 days. I stood firm. "Ma'am, my deed's clean. No HOA ties." her grin sharp, condescending. Darling, the survey was updated in 2003. You're in it now. Your title folks overlooked it. Not my concern. She pivoted away, heels clicking on pavement, as if the dirt might soil her. That night, I dug online. Vivian Blackwell, broker, development board vice chair, widow of District Judge Blackwell, name-dropping him endlessly later, owner of multiple lake rentals, head of Blackwell Realty Group. 2 weeks on, I submitted a thick packet, blueprints, certified stamps, the works, rejected in days for mismatched aesthetics. I pushed back with an appeal. The hearing a farce in a stuffy chamber reeking of stale brew and artificial blooms. Vivian presiding, her crony Harold, ex-pharmacist, pale and smug beside her, mangling my name repeatedly. Mr. Harper, Harold eyeing my brace. Certain you can manage this scale with your condition? Vivian cooing. We're only thinking of the neighborhood's best, suggesting a modest lot might fit me more. I masked my rage. I'll revise and resend. Overhearing Harold snide, best of luck, as I left. Realizing this wasn't about rules, it was personal. She wanted me erased. Week 4, I brought in a foundation team, 3 solid workers at fair rates to brace the leaning east wall before winter's bite. But on day 2, a county enforcer rolled up, frank, 50s, belt-straining belly, slapping a halt notice like a summons. Permits deficient, boundary off by 18 inches, resurvey needed, 6 to 8 weeks, I challenged. Off according to whom? He shrugged off. Records say so. All stops now. That afternoon, the survey firm confirmed their accuracy, pinning the flag on the development board's vice chair. Vivian again. My crew lead Travis called that evening. Voice heavy. Father of 4. Bills piling. Can't hold the guys idle. Ethan, sorry. I understood. No grudges. But alone on that majestic staircase, the only fixture intact. Wind howling through the unfinished gap. The lake's ripples mocking my isolation. Mia texting, "You good, Dad?" I lied, just worn out, staring blankly, doubting myself, wondering if teardown was wiser, sell to flippers, admit defeat. But my palm on the banister, cool and timeless, evoked Evelyn's whispers. No. Damn it, I wasn't yielding. Next dawn, I stormed the county records vault, a dim basement humming with flickering lights and musty stacks, poring over maps, amendments, HOA files from the 90s onward, eyes straining through microfiche reels, fueled by bitter diner Joe. And there it was, the 2003 revision Vivian touted, binding Willowbrook to the HOA, but unratified by state assembly, just local panel, recalling Navy legal drills. Towns can't retroactively restrict deeds without oversight. It's discriminatory zoning. Outright unlawful in Michigan. And her signature glared alongside her late husband's, Harold's, and 2 allies, all adjacent owners whose lots spiked 30% post-passage. They'd schemed to oust the priors. I copied 18 sheets, pinned a midnight brief on jittery caffeine, fired it to the council, CC'd Laura Mendoza at the Gazette, the state AG's fraud line, subject, unlawful restriction and misuse of authority at Willowbrook Estate. Sent at nearly midnight. No legal eagle but anger. And searches fueling my case. By week's end, council called emergency talks. Code for frenzy. Vivian rang Friday. Ethan. All honeyed now. Miscommunication. Let's chat over coffee, sort like friends. I gazed at the exposed beams, tarp flapping wildly. Coffee at the council. Vivian, open forum. Her nails tapping sharply, a hiss. Bad choice. Won't be my worst. Click. That evening I rigged 4 cams. Full coverage, clouds sync. If war she craved, I'd capture every skirmish. The council loomed 2 weeks off. Ample window for her escalation. And boy did she deliver. Week 7 I attended the HOA gathering. Public access claimed, armed with prints, digital scans. Even donned a crisp shirt over my workwear to seem credible. But entering the civic center, I saw her ambush. Every chair held a slick pamphlet, vibrant print, pricey production, bold title. Hazards at Willowbrook Estate. One owner's careless overhaul threatens all. My pulse steady from training, but fury simmered as I scanned lies of vagrants lured by my sight. Runoff poisoning the lake. Risky wiring risking blazes. All fabricated but formatted convincingly with graphs and lists. Vivian at the dais, pearls shining, Her smile a predator's gleam. 3 plants testified. Bored kin or cronies. First Margaret, her card club pal, drowning in scent. My home's worth plummeted 40 grand since he arrived. Appraiser swore it. Averting gaze. Then Harold. Seen loose boards, dangling lines, accident. Brewing. Third some stranger, Harold's kin from afar. My children played lakeside. No more. Who knows the toxins? The assembly bobbed agreement. Strangers condemning me unprovoked. One lady glancing guiltily away. Then Vivian rose, commanding hush, proposing urgent rule tweak. Any derelict vacant 90 days deemed hazard. HOA empowered to fix, even raise, billing the holder. Not personal, community safeguard. Nods rippled. When comments opened, I approached composed, hooked my device to the borrowed projector. Before ballots, view this. First clip timed footage, midnight 3 nights prior, Harold's. Rig at my pier dumping beer cans. Plate visible, silence descended like fog. Margaret gaping. Harold paling to paste. Second lab results pristine near Willowbrook, but foul at 346 shoreline path. Vivian's rental, septic fail, $220 well spent. Third legal opinion from VA pal Derek. Her rule smacked of backdated punishment, void nationwide. Plus my taxes paid proved residency. I faced her, Vivian, unsure if land grab or disdain for my type. A vet on aid owning lakefront. But I'm rooted court if. Needed, fraud won't fly. Quiet stretched. Then Laura clapped deliberate. Others joined. Vivian flushed scarlet, stormed out sans close. Harold fumbling the gavel. Postponed for review. Parking lot chill hit. Leaves slick. Fumes from stored gear. Hands trembling post-rush. Morning found a stiff squirrel on my stoop. Eyes glazed. Crude scare tactic. I pondered the mind deeming dead critters dominance. Summoned removal. Added porch cam. Vivian's folly games. I'd archive them all. Week 10 she pivoted to development board leverage. Monday dawn a compliance officer snapped pics galore. Sighting brush as blaze risk. My certified wild habitat blooms. $500 daily fine. Tuesday health. Flagged vent as breach. Code mandated airflow. Another $500. Wednesday fire tagged locked paints as peril. OSHA compliant. Navy creds ignored. Third $500. 10 days to mend non-issues. $15,000 looming. That night in my trailer. Chill seeping. Knee pulsing. Fines fan like bad poker. They'd gut my budget. Force sale. Validate her. Wondered if Evelyn craved my ruin over bricks. Maybe fold smart. Then calls flooded. Travis first. Heard her crap. Weekends mine. No charge. Materials only. I choked. Kids, loans, can impose. Offering. Shows him fight bullies. Throat tight. Thanks. Minutes later Sophia. Neighbor rebel. Saw the squirrel dumper. Harold's kin. Plate noted. Affidavit ready. She'll target you. Her laugh edged. Tried over fence Hugh 3 years. My girl's learning not to ignore. 2 allies risking. Third Laura. Unearthed 3 past HOA scraps. Sealed with gags. Pattern clear. Publishable. Build case. Alone no more. Math shifted. Week 11 she slapped a lien. 6 months dues claimed. $200 monthly plus $800 penalties. $1,200 hit records. Bank flag title Merc. Threatening loan recall. Chokehold financial. Derek whistled. False liens crime here. Misdemeanor. Triple damages civil. Speed. 2 days. Demand flew. Withdraw or prosecute plus $3,600 counter. Her fancy lawyer rang. Lien vanished Wednesday. No sorry, but Laura printed. Vet fights HOA tyranny. Blackwell probed for land conflicts. In our small burg. Page 3 scorched like headlines. That eve I torched the lift notice by the pier. Legal blaze satisfying. Embers dancing in December dark. With smoke biting. Geese calling overhead fleeing cold. But I stayed. Beer in hand on frigid boards. Sensing her desperation brewing errors I'd log. Week 13 Laura raced over mid-roof patch. Numb digits fumbling. Box brimming proofs. Camper cramped with her frenzy. Spreadsheet unveiling 5 years development board votes. Vivian greenlighting 7 disputed builds. All her Blackwell. Realty group listings. Commissions averaging $22,000. Patterns lethal. More. 2019 filings. Willowbrook pre-sale. Henry Whitaker in care. Daughter Anna remote handling. Her $95,000 bid rejected. Gut twist. She'd schemed auction lowball. My bid foiled her flip to $300,000. How do you reach Anna? Sources secret, but emails kept. Message Stark. Reconsider $95,000 or face condemnation. Seizure nil payout. Last chance intact. Extortion typed. Abusing board clout. Anna bore it 5 years. Doubting challenge against judge's widow now. To DA, AG this morn. Derek copied. Felony territory. Power abuse. Coercion. Lake stormy outside. Heater clattering. How many victims? More than known. But email damning. Laura filed away. DA probing. Capitol Station airing tonight. I viewed her door slam on cam. No comment. Go. Viral by midnight. 18,000 views. Floodgates opened. Builder blocked till nephew hire. Educator coerced listing. Town unearthing old wounds. Dockside that night. Breath clouds. Pondering Henry. Anna. Silent sufferers. Sans cams or press. Her fear-built realm crumbling. Phone pinged. Derek. DA meet Thursday. Bring all. Everything? Truckload. Bring truck. Grin in shadows. She'd aimed to entomb me. Favor returned. Thursday VFW. 9 a.m. I hauled boxes. Laptop. Receipts since purchase. Derek rumpled ready. Laura with potent brew. Travis plans. Bar strewn like heist prep. Legal not lucrative. 3 prongs. Napkin sketched arrows at VB stick. 1. Sue harassment. Process abuse. Defamation. $50,000 claim. Settle bleeds her. 2. Exposure. Laura chronicling dirt. Poisoning her rep. Willowbrook saga. Vid free. 3. Rush finish. Success her defeat. Crown jewel from wreck. Travis. Base secure. Wiring next. Kin Kyle Sparks cheap. Ex-Marine. Roof pre-snow. Napkin crude. Profound. Explain plain. Process abuse. Neighbor false cops your pup hate. Can't misuse system for spite. Her codes. Liens. Checks as weapons for your plot. Laura quoting. VFW Joe my fee. Drafted suit. Op-ed timeline. Build phases. War mapped by afternoon. Saturday hammers flew. Called dawn with AIDS. Wire coils town-sized. I assisted. Learning circuits. Navy demo mostly. Flow like fluid. No shorts. Gutted antique wiring. Frayed hazards. Mia filmed for net. 40,000 hits. True grit. Backbone embodied. Vivian. Who? Community rallied. Sophia's barn raised drew 30. Vets. Faithful. Onlookers. Even Margaret. Pie bearing. Note. Coward no more. Thanks for lesson. Later brushing frames. Had to. 73. Time right side. Cleared gutters. Bulb planted. Owen trucked salvaged maple. Floor needs on house. Wave cash away. She shook my grandkid $2,000 permit rush. Call payback. Dusk Willowbrook breathe. Lights flickering. Joy echoing. Grills sizzled. Beers chilled. Lake wind fresh. Porch vantage. 30 strangers turned kin. Hopes swelling unfamiliar. Monday suit filed. $50,000. Exhibits thick. Her counsel settlement probed. Derek. Court it is. Tuesday license yanked ethics probe. Blackwell Realty Group shuttered. I camped foyer. Heater humming. Not budging. YouTube stream 3,200 subs. Rebirth watch. Win live. Dust settled in the gravel haze. I walked back inside. Fingers steady as I uploaded the footage 3 ways. Derek. Laura. Secure cloud. The audio crystal clear. Her bribe dangling like bait. Threats to bend the DA. That raw outburst exposing decades of venom. Deciding who deserved what in her twisted kingdom. And it hit me deep. This war wasn't just mine. My refusal had cracked open a dam, letting others' stories flood out. Laura called within the hour. Voice electric. This is gold for the prosecution. Tampering on tape. And she spilled all the ugly truths she'd kept quiet. The piece dropped Tuesday. Headline screaming Blackwell caught in bribe attempt. Admits bitter grudge. With a 30-second clip of her snarling about worth and belonging. Comments erupted like confessions in a revival tent. A teacher blocked from advancement without her donation. A contractor squeezed for 10% consulting cuts. A fresh widow hounded to sell because too much house for one woman. 30 years of hidden barbs finally seeing daylight. DA stacked on bribery. Tampering charges. My civil suit ballooned with emotional distress claims. Exhibit taped ran attached. Council voted to scrap the committee for good. HOA bled 80 households overnight. Her partner issued a statement so hedged it screamed abandonment. Sunday 60 neighbors crammed the library. No mandates. Birthing Evergreen Watch. Pure voluntary help. Margaret rose shaky. I trailed the wrong path. Fixing it now. Applause soft. Offering grace may be earned over time. Sophia found me after. DA hearing January 9th. Community voices before charges. You in? I nodded. Yeah, and everyone else too. 3 weeks sharpened our edge. Hall overflowing by 5:30 for 6 o'clock start. 4:50 squeezed inside. Spillover peering through frosted panes. Media swarm buzzing. Stations taping. Reporters scribbling. Even a timed stringer in row 3. Laura front row ready. Her scoop, now town's anthem. Vivian mandated front. Lawyer fidgeting beside. Her suit impeccable, but hands betraying tremors. Gaze locked ahead like denial could erase the crowd. DA Elena Torres gavel-cracked order. Room. Hushing to radiator whispers. Impact session for case 2024. CR 847. Charges stacking abuse, extortion, bribery, falsities, intimidation. My slot first. Podium under glaring lights. Facing hundreds. Notes ditched for raw truth. Grandma Evelyn Harper scraped by in Detroit. Made to the end. Own nothing but dreams clipped from mags. Lake homes. Porches wide. Waters calling. She'd pace them hidden. Whisper, someday kiddo. Gone at my 23. Dream deferred. But I claimed Willowbrook fair and square. Sweat saved. Auction earned. America's real promise. Locked eyes on her averted face. Vivian Blackwell weaponized power to snatch it. Harass. Bankrupt. Banish. Why? Greed. And deeming me. A braced vet on checks. Unworthy of her shore. But she crumbled because this town rose. Neighbors backed. Law bit back. Willowbrook stands as bully proof. Stepped away. Thunderous half ovation. Laura dabbing eyes. Sophia affirming. Margaret hand to heart. Anna Whitaker beamed in from afar. Tears steady. Dad crafted it 1924. Family hub. Then Blackwell dangled ruin and less cheap sale. We folded. Lost it all. Thankful Harper stood tall, where we couldn't. Sophia next. Unflinching on intimidation's chill. Dead critter details. Teaches my girl to fight, not flee. Owen gruffly. She milked my grandson $2,000 for permits. Fear paid. Should have been like Ethan. Am now. 5 more wove the web of cuts endured. Testimony wrapped. DA rose. Community. Scars acknowledged. Vivian whispered no comment. Sat rigid. Back row mutter. Coward sparking tense chuckles. Gavel sealed indictment on 6. Bail $50,000. Posted quick, but mugshot viral by dawn. Real wound her silent stare down by eyes she'd once cowed. March rolled in. 14 months post-purchase. Final inspection Tuesday. Frank shadowed by overseer. Probed every wire. Joint. Outlet. 2 hours yielding 0 faults. Occupancy cert clutched like rebirth proof. Weekend open house drew 200. Willowbrook shining. Mahogany aglow. Glass casting rainbows. Dock stretching blue. Scents of oil. Tamales. Trout mingling with revived laughter. Kids dashing lawns. Guitar notes floating. Survival celebration pure. Laura cornered me. Numbers notebook. Flipped. $163,000 sunk. Appraised $485,000. $322,000 forged from grit. That's the dream. Hands-built wealth. Evelyn's pride palpable. Vivian pled no contest 4 counts. 2 dropped. 18 months hung suspended. 300 service hours. $15,000 restitution check April deposited into Evelyn Harper Trade Fund. Annual craft scholarships. First to Sophia's sharp 17-year-old Isabella, electrician bound. Tears flowed. Blamed allergies. Rooms turned artist sanctuaries. Create free. Quarterly forums fixed communal woes. Doc signed open. All welcome. No HOA. Mia stayed aiding. Bonding over tools. Tougher than you dad. Easy bar. Adopted 3-legged major. Lake pursuer. Sun soaker. Kindred unyielders. Doc mornings with him. Evelyn's essence and pride. Mission sealed. Oak sign proclaimed. Willowbrook Estate 1924 reborn 2025. Reporter probed regrets. 0. Worth every scar. Next. Grin. Block condemnation scam nearby. Sharing battles won. Laugh. fights fresh. And so it closes, one stand shattering chains, estate blooming, bonds mended, foe faded to Florida shadows, closure in wooden waves. But you, what's your wildest HOA or official outrage? Fair or foul? Payback justified or mercy due? Ethics in the fray. Spill below. Crazy is spotlighted next. Subscribe for underdog wins. Ethan Harper out from Willowbrook. They bury seeds for getting growth.